On the news tonight, federal government reiterates commitment to improving workers' welfare. In business, National Assembly to pass 2018 appropriation budget on Thursday. On the foreign scene, former advisor to Pope Francis, Cardinal George Pell, to face trial over charges of several historical sexual abuse. Hello there, and many thanks for joining us on Superscreen's flagship news, broadcasting to you live from Lagos. I am Adenike Oweye Ajiboye. The federal government has reaffirmed its commitment to the welfare of its workforce. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo disclosed this at the 2018 Workers' Day celebration held in Abuja. The Vice President commended the resilience of the Nigerian workers and called for their continued support for the success of the present administration.
I thank you for your continued patience, all workers of this nation, and for the great sacrifices that you continue to make to move our nation forward. Nigerian workers are, by any estimation, the most patriotic segment of the population. You are amongst the most committed taxpayers. Your taxes are deducted at source, so there's no question that you pay your taxes. Hence, nobody can deny you the right to interrogate government and how public funds are expended at all times. You remain amongst the few organizations that have risen above primordial sentiments and have gone across tribe, ethnicity, and religion to come together to unite in a common purpose. We believe that the worst is over for Nigeria. Accordingly, we will do everything within our powers to sustain the current economic recovery efforts. We'll continue to reinforce our macroeconomic policies to achieve sustainable economic stability and growth. We'll also continue to ensure that growth comes along with jobs and that there is a just distribution of wealth. This administration has come this far, always counting on the continued support and goodwill of organized labor. I'm confident that together we will achieve our objective of building a united, strong, and prosperous nation.
On its part, a Minister of Labour and Productivity, Chris Ngige, also called on the organized labour to assist in the federal government's fight against corruption and other vices plaguing the country.
The leadership of the labour movement is expected at all times to impart frankness to members of the movement. The leadership is expected to constructively engage the government and other employers through social dialogue, which is considered a veritable instrument of negotiation and communication in any sound national industrial relations system. I specifically call on you to join the government of Muhammadu Buhari in his fight against corruption and other ancillary matters. This will be a battle worthwhile, as the output will stand the test of time and majorly contribute to national development.
Addressing the gathering, President of the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, Ayuba Waba, said issues such as welfare and protection of workers should be given adequate attention towards addressing the unfavorable policies and increase the minimum wage from 18,000 to 66,500 naira. Now in Lagos State, workers have been admonished to get their permanent voter cards, PVC says, to vote out a bad government of corruption and impunity. The NLC chairman, Adela Kunwido, who disclosed this at Agege Stadium in Lagos, charged leaders to embrace the right values or attributes needed to deliver on good governance. The report. International Labour Day, also known as Workers' Day and May Day, is celebrated all over the world on May 1st of every year. And the rationale is to promote and encourage workers who invariably use the day to fight for their rights through advocacy in the area of exploitation and indignation. At this year's May Day, Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode promised to improve on workers' welfare, while the Minister of Labour and Productivity, Chris Ngige, who was represented, called for better relationship of both parties.
It is on record that we have never, since the inception of this administration, had any dispute with the organized labor, and I will be the first to admit that the labor unions in Lagos State are the most responsible, and it is a fact that only those who dare to struggle may win. Yes, these agitations and struggles must be focused on realistic and reasonable goals.
The role of labor is pivotal to national development. For the federal Ministry of Labor and Employment, and indeed the federal government of Nigeria, the networks and value of workers cannot be overemphasized, considering that workers constitute the human capital, which is the singular most critical factor in the product chain.
The Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) and the Trade Union Congress (TUC) called the governor's attention to affordable housing, reduction of land use charge, and payment of 66,500 naira minimum wage.
His Excellency the Governor of the State must be commended for prompt and regular disbursement of salary to workers in Lagos State. The state government is not indebted to our workers. It is our hope and expectation that when the national minimum wage is reviewed upward, it will be embraced and implemented by our digital governor.
We passionately appeal to you to engage the House of Assembly to slow down the increase, especially at this trying economic time. Any increase in the land use charge, especially on the rented apartments, we pass on to tenants who are mostly workers.
For prompt and regular disbursement of salary to workers in Lagos State. The state government is not indebted to our workers. It is our hope and expectation that when the national minimum wage is reviewed upward, it will be embraced and implemented by our digital governor.
The NLC and trade unions' theme is a labor movement in national development, a dare to struggle, a dare to win. Other activists and workers also speak in the same direction.
Government must create an enabling environment. There must be that ambience of security. There must be the cost of education has almost hit the roof. Government must ensure that they're pushing the effect of the excruciating effect.
66,500 is no controversy. We are all out to get that. We held a public hearing few days ago, precisely last week, at the Alasa Hall there. NLCTC in Lagos State, they are out for that minimum wage.
Will appreciate all the demands of the union. The governor have done that. So the governor respected the government, and the government too respected the government. That's why you see peaceful atmosphere in Lagos State for the past 3 years.
Workers from different associations and unions march one after the other in commemoration of the day, as the governor of Lagos State, Akinwumi Ambode, waved in return.
As Nigerian workers, another man for year 2018, the whole lot of issues have been highlighted. part of which is for the Lagos State government to ensure that the land use chart is being reverted or reduced. They have also called on the Lagos State governor to ensure that housing is affordable for an average worker. It remains to be seen how Lagos State government under Governor Hakeem Ambode make their demands a reality. Until then, I'm Adenike Uweyajimoye reporting for Superscreen.
In Sokoto State, Governor Aminu Tambuwal says the state government will embark on recruitment of more workers to facilitate improved manpower in state and local services. Tambuwal, who disclosed this at the 2018 Workers' Day celebration in Sokoto, said 2,500 primary and secondary teachers had already been recruited between 2017 and 2018 in the state. Ondo State civil servants have protested against the decision of Governor Rotimi Akeredolu not to pay their leave bonuses until the state is buoyant financially. The mild protest took place at the Gani Fawimi Arcade, Akure, during the May Day celebration when the governor was addressing the workers. Akeredolu, while addressing the workers, said the state is still passing through a difficult time economically and that the workers' leave allowances of 2017 will be paid as soon as the government has the money. Dozens of people have been killed when suicide bombers detonated the explosives in Mumbai, northeast Nigeria. A local volunteer, Habu Saleh, said they have evacuated dozens of dead and injured people to the hospital and the rescue operation is still ongoing. A medical source at the Mumbai General Hospital said they had so far received 7 dead bodies and dozens of injured from the 2 blast scenes. Health workers from the hospital mobilized to attend to the victim despite being on strike over pay and conditions. Police and government officials in the Adamawa state capital Yola were not immediately available for comment. And our President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the recruitment of 6,000 additional policemen as part of fresh measures to address the nation's security challenges, including the farmers and herdsmen clashes across the country. President Buhari discussed this in an interview with journalists in Washington, United States. President Buhari revealed that additional security measures were being put in place to check cases of insecurity in Nigeria. And in another development, Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has blamed the federal government for the nation's state of insecurity. The governor said Nigeria's state of insecurity is a fallout of political interference on the part of the federal government. Governor Wike discussed this when participants of Senior Executive Course of 40 of 2018 Study Group 3 from the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies and IPSS Kuru paid him a courtesy visit at the government house in Port Harcourt.
As a result of political interference, the federal government has laid a foundation for crisis and violence in Rivers State before and during the 2019 election. They brought a professional who was promoted ACP in his expertise in hijacking electoral materials. But this one will cause crisis in this state. Since the police has come out to say, look, they are handicapped. So we came up with an agency that will complement the efforts of the security agencies. Apart from payment of salaries, federal government and state government pays everything that required logistics, that required funding of vehicles.
In his reaction, leader of the group, Rear Admiral Ahamefule Elua, said they're working on solutions to the security challenges facing Nigeria.
Team approved for Study Group 40 is strengthening internal security and community policing, strengthening internal security framework and community policing in Nigeria, models, policy options, and strategies. In the classroom, we were discussing and said, yes, that looks like a place that fits the theme of the course. It looks like that state has already.
And now the federal government has banned the production of codeine containing syrup in the country. The Assistant Director of Information, Federal Ministry of Health, Olajide Oshunu, who discussed this in a statement to journalists, said the ban takes immediate effect. Oshunu said importers must get clearance before importing codeine pharmaceutical ingredients for calf preparations. The federal government also directed the Pharmaceutical Council of Nigeria and the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, to supervise the recall for labeling and audit trailing of all codeine containing cough syrups in the country. Coming up in business, National Assembly to pass 2018 appropriation budget on Thursday. Join us with details of this and more shortly. Many thanks for staying with us. Now in business news, the National Assembly will receive the report of the 2018 budget from its Joint Committee on Appropriation on Thursday. Investigation indicates that the laying of the 8.612 trillion naira budget will be preparatory to its possible passage on Thursday. Report also says the appropriation bill all year planned for passage on April 24 failed because of the enormous volume of work before the various committees, particularly Anchor Committee on Appropriation. Now, Fidelity Bank PLC has reported 20 billion naira profit before tax (BPT) for the financial year which ended December 21, 2017. The result represents 94% rise in profitability when compared with a 2016 figure. The bank's gross earnings rose from 152 billion naira in 2016 to 179.9 billion naira in 2017, representing 18.3% increase. International oil Brent crude has hit $75 per barrel and rose further amid growing geopolitical tensions in the world. Brent, against which Nigeria's crude oil is priced, stood at $75.16 per barrel, while the United States marker, West Texas Intermediate, traded around $68.36 per barrel. The rise in oil prices means further accretion to the nation's excess crude account, into which the difference between the market price of oil and the budget's benchmark is saved to provide a cushion when oil prices fall or extra cash is needed for spending on infrastructure. The Kebbi government says it has paid over 9 billion naira as pension and gratuities to over 3,500 retirees in the state. The state governor Atiku Bagudu disclosed this at the 2018 celebration organized by the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) in Benin, Kebbi. Bagudu said from their inception to date, they have made payment to over 3,500 retirees whose entitlements ranged from 500,000 naira downwards. The governor assured the organized labor that the government will strive to do more to improve the standard of workers in the state. And our WhatsApp co-founder John Coyne says he is leaving Facebook, which brought the smartphone messaging service 4 years ago for $19 billion. Coyne said he is taking time off to pursue interests such as collecting air-cooled Porsches, working on cars, and playing ultimate frisbee. Still ahead on the news, former advisor to Pope Francis, Cardinal George Pell, so face trial over charges of several historical sexual abuse. The details of this and more coming up shortly.